Black Mamba, show me what you got.
All right, you know what? Let's see which map we're going to be playing on in this series very, very quickly here before we toss it into game. Theme Park will be our map. Bekind removing Villa. Very technical map. This is, yeah. Yes, James?
It's literally what I just said. If it goes to Theme Park, maybe Black Mamba will have a shot. So
I mean, like, Bekind have lost it a couple of times, but I'm looking at the people they lost it to, and that's Penta and Vitality. So they were probably going to lose it to them, regardless of what the map was anyway. They've tied it once. They have never won it, though. So there is that.
Final thoughts, James? You still think Black Mamba are going to take this?
Yeah,
Or
hope so.
you going for that or a tie?
Yeah. Well, Bekind have drawn on this map before against Maestria. They got smacked 7-0 by Penta on this map. Black Mamba, unlike Bekind, has actually won it before in the Benelux. And yeah, they did get destroyed by Gamma in the Benelux, but they also went really close against M&M. Black Mamba, it's your shot. Show 'em what you got.
Well, for people that don't know, Black Mamba is a reference to a basketball player, one of the best in the world. The best,
Really?
actually.
Who?
Shot.
I've never heard that.
Oh my good lord. You know what? Let's toss it to the game. Take us away on Theme Park. This is a hell of a roller coaster of a ride. So let's toss it over to our casters.
Think too much glasses today, Fluk.
It's a lot of glasses.
We're going without.
I mean,
we're going without. It's a lot of glasses.
Can you see, man? Can you see?
I can see.
Oh, okay.
Just raise fingers. I can tell you how many you're holding
How
up.
many fingers am I holding up?
That's 5.
Wow, he's good. Let's see if either of these teams are as well as we get ready to go into a showdown that, you know, if we're going to talk about the weight and the importance, this is unfortunately one without. These are two teams that did okay in the regional leagues. Okay in the performance, but they had quite a lot of competition, respectively, in terms of the tier 1 teams that they had to go through to get here.
Yeah, Bekind coming in as the 5th rated team in France. Black Mamba is the 2nd in Benelux. However, a lot has changed to the Black Mamba lineup, at least in the meantime. Wishmaster and 7 both gone. Coming in 2 new UK players. It's more a UK lineup now than a Benelux at this point.
Are you only saying that because it hasn't been a great season for them? Because the two UK...
Yeah, we're tossing them out.
Okay, the two UKIN teams, they did well for us. They've stepped up, stepped in, and you know, even though we had very high expectations for M&M and Kavana, and they maybe didn't quite meet them as much as we thought. They're in a group with Penta, and to me, the surprise of everybody so far has been currently Homeless, their team, who just really performed well.
Definitely doing good. Something you might not have expected. The Polish scene is not a scene that often had like teams in CL, for example.
Yeah,
they did often get quite close.
It's strange because Polska Grom, it runs deep apparently, at least it
runs very deep
in Twitch chat especially.
Can we blame them for it?
No, Hyper. They're seems to do very, very well at the minute, and obviously across the board too, as you look at the CIS in the top echelons. But the CIS so far, well, they're not playing yet. Let's talk about what we do know, which is this final showdown between these two. As we said, it's for not really any marbles. All the marbles have already been taken to someone else's home. This is just a kind of exit match, exit frags, and an exit showing between two sets of players that I guess, in a similar way to Granit earlier, to be fair, we saw Granit's best performance throughout the season. I guess now let's see if these two can kind of put a mark for themselves here.
So Black Mamba getting quite close on this map against M&M when they showed up against them earlier this month. They also started out on the defense there, and this might be what they need. They're starting out on the defense again, and that might mean they're going to be able to get quite some good rounds in, and then they will be facing against a team that is not as good as M&M is, I dare to say, which means they have opportunity to actually close it out this time.
Now, playing on Theme Park, and obviously the table and the desk talked about some of the stats and statistics of where these teams have been and what they've been able to do here, but I guess it's always a lesson because, well, there are expectations of what these two teams could do in the league, and unfortunately I don't think they matched anyone. Okay, Black Mamba had roster changes before they came through, and Bekind just unfortunately didn't hit the level, but at the same time, you know, we've seen French teams struggle and pull themselves back, and we've seen these players before, so...
Right. Looking at the setup here, we are seeing the mute coming out and the bandit, so those will be used to keep the walls closed. Of course, the Thatcher has been banned, and then you're looking at the Maverick ban as well, which is going to be making it quite hard to open up. Of course, you have the opportunity to use a grenade over the top of these walls when you open up with either gunfire or Buck, but Buck, of course, not being there. So there is still opportunity to open up the walls. You just have to use a little bit of different utility you would normally use to get to that goal, which in itself doesn't have to be a bad thing.
Now then, as they start their approach and steadily lock their way forward into this game, it's, I guess, the aggression that Bashed is leaning to. Bashed is a player who we've talked about. I know you said this is a team that is in a way in an effect a UK Iron team too. And Bashed is a player, he's not from the UK, but he did perform in our leagues and he played very well. And this was unfortunately a place where he hasn't really been able to lock themselves in. So let's see if he can step up on a game where there's less on the line, more just trying to put big numbers in. Doesn't. Unfortunately get the opener there. It's El Chico who puts his mark down first as the French invasion starts on the second floor balcony.
First kill on the board. It is a second one to follow. However, this one going into the favor of Black Mamba, with Duco trying to respond onto Rivers as well, who's going aggressive on the top here of Dragon. Taking out a bit of utility. Actually, Suppressor being used on that T5 SMG here. Something you do not often see. As suppressors are quite rare, but it suits certain playstyles. So let's see if we will actually see more of that as Josh peeks aggressively. Able to pick up El Chico, and that means Black Mamba have the advantage back in their hands.
Yeah, Skeptic finding one on the opposite side as well. It started to fall a little bit apart, and this is one of the things about this roster. They are so aggressive when they want to be. They're happy to take this lone gunman position and just strike when they find an opportunity. We saw Bash was the first to kind of hit heads, and unfortunately unsuccessful for them, but since then there's another 2 or 3 bodies in different, slightly kind of solo locations. They don't really set themselves up for trades too much. They instead more kind of play themselves on this hyper-aggressive play. Obviously, that's a kind of big general statement to make, and, you know, you just can kind of have a look at how they're holding it here, where they had the 3 bodies on the second story, all in different locations. They're not reacting to the failures or successes of each other. They're just causing problems on their own.
Oh, another kill coming inside and able to pick up a double kill of himself, and suddenly we're finding him into a 1v2 situation, which he turned back from a 1v4. Wanted to throw out a Selma there, however found that the wall was electrified, so it doesn't really have that much use to it, as Mickey is the only member standing on the actual site. We have one more still above, it might be rotating down yellow, not quite sure. Inside and taking a little bit of damage. Josh still from above, but he has the opportunity to play the hatch as soon as this play will be coming through. Smoke canister coming in, but will be taken by the ADS. Last smoke canister will be used by Smoke right now, as Zayden is going to be aware of the fact that one is above, but there's a shield. Mickey going for the peek and will be able to get that kill, but it was a 1v4 situation, almost turned around into a win.
Well, that was a bit of a surprise strike there, I think, for the Black Mamba team, as they were suddenly falling apart. Hey, what did I say? They often don't really set themselves up truly for trades. Okay, it was a player playing very well. He was striking and pulling back against Black Mamba. But at the same time, when you don't have yourself set up in that situation, and when you're kind of trusting the idea of rotation to be how you pinch people, rather than covers and movement, as a team like Bekind tries to on their defense, well, that's sometimes what happens. You break it up into 1 versus 1s, that solo player can get close to what is otherwise impossible. Now, the one time they seemed to have a body either side, it was still technically 1 versus 1, 1 versus 1, but the window was much shorter. It was shorter than any of the other single showdowns throughout the entire round. It led to a result for Black Mamba, but it almost didn't.
Yeah, it almost went away with Bekind, and you really have to turn it back into that 1v2. As you did not really need to go for a peek there. You could have just, you know, after you first got engaged, you fall back, you wait till he steps inside split, you drop on top of him, and that is when you win. Like, it's a safer approach. Of course, there's nothing left on the line for either of these two teams, so they will not really care about these little mistakes that will be coming through every now and then. But still, take your lessons, make sure you learn from it, and move on from there.
Now then, heading to the top floor, heading to a more solid hold and a setup upstairs potentially, because obviously we had 3 roamers. The before. Only 2 bodies down inside the throne room, and they trusted the 3 on top to get the job done. They did, but it was close. Here, I'm curious to see if we see the same underneath rotation, if we see them separate across this top floor, which is less of a boxed site than throne is. You don't really have the same kind of core heart of it that can be locked down in a similar way. Here you have to stretch your legs a little bit to make a convincing hold, and, well, how much are we going to see Black Mamba stretch themselves across this top floor?
Drone again coming in. Mulkiro hoping to be following it up shortly. However, Duco and El Chico will be getting into a gunfight. El Chico getting the better hand of him this time around, meaning that yet again the entry will be going to Bekind, and leaving Black Mamba in a 4v5 situation, where this time they are closer to the side than they've gotten so far in the early stages of the last round. Shield being taken out quite quickly as well, meaning that utility seems to be falling quite quickly.
Now Bashed is able to try and strike back. He gets revenge for the first round and is able to put down the Zephyr, who got the opener against Duco. Josh round the corner, swung on this and got a kill last time. Didn't hear the man go on drone, but here's the drone whirring. There's a bit of a feed. They've got the wrong man, though. They might not know that Josh is just tucked into the corner here. And if Zayden swings onto this with the confidence to go for Bash, this could be a very quick pickup. He goes wide, but no! Not wide enough. Falls straight into the sightlines of Zayden, and there's the second locked up on the other side. Now it's a 4 versus 2. The C4 doesn't catch anybody, but is able to make them drift off to a little bit more safety inside and less ostracized and cut off from Bekind, but doesn't matter. You swing back into it, Legends is able to lock you down and put us into a 4 versus 1. Mickey, unfortunately, can't quite do it this time round, and Rivers puts Bekind on their first round.
Very quick, very good round coming in here from Bekind on their attack, able to put up a very solid take, where they managed to get multiple entries. Something that is necessary in a map like this if you want to be winning your attacking rounds. You need to win your entries. That is basically it. You need to get those first picks. That is how you put yourself in the best possible way of taking a win in there. There's only 1 kill came through from Black Mamba that round. Not really ideal. You want to make sure that you're going to be able to up that. And as they go for bunk daycare this time around, they are probably going to be trying to hold them back in cash again.
That's it. And I think one of the things to look towards there on the round again, as I said it in the first, is Black Mamba weren't fully looking or divulging themselves into trades. They had obviously bodies in positions where they could strike. As we saw, Josh was dug in on the corner and the attention wasn't bashed. But when he swung it, he kind of swung himself right into the gunfight. Okay, it was successful the first round. It was able to swing around and get a kill in exactly the same room, just a couple of feet to the side. This time, however, didn't quite work, but because of that, there wasn't a reaction, really, from Bash. There wasn't the ability to try and double down. That's one example, but you look across all of the kills that were taken, and it's something to look across Black Mamba's defense here and how Bekind push, because Bekind, they can be quite a good balanced team on their day. They can bring the attentive focus to be able to set up for the T on the KOST stat, which is quite an important one for a lot of teams.
The thing is, a lot of people spoke badly of Bekind after the first 2 showings they had. Of course, one of them was a 7-0, and well, as one gets picked up now by a spawn Pikaduco, it's El Chico to lose it. Seems to be involved in every single opening battle so far, El Chico. Even though he's not the Ashes running on that Sophia. But I wanted to say, after those first 2 initial picks, they improved a lot, as Legends right here shows. Able to cut off that rotation, making sure that he is not able to live. Duco will be taken down.
There it is. There's a quick pickup and a quick rotation and a quick catch there, as obviously El Chico is off the board again. They've been involved in every single opening engagement so far, and mixed success. Unfortunately, leaning on less success right now, with only 1 of the opening kills going their way of the 3 now, though. They seem to have an idea of what they want to try and put pressure onto, the mute jammer on the door, to allow themselves through and get a little bit more inside as they try to overtake and overrun the cafe. A different style of push has come through this time, and a different style of location, obviously reacting very quickly to the swift flip over to a slightly different positioning. And here, well, they're starting to charge in with Legends, offering the back support.
Josh, sitting in the yellow corridor, able to take down a drone or 2. Put himself back. Bunker behind a reinforced wall to a bit more safety. He isn't you know, having the most of hit points available to him. And knows that pressure will be coming soon from the cafe, so he has to do his best to make sure that he's going to be able to pick up 1, maybe 2 players just to ease off the rest of the pressure for the rest of his teammates. Also still has a C4 available, could potentially toss that in, as it looks like they want to deal with a shield. Yeah, there you have it, shield will be taken care of. That's the Goya one, will explode into flames and not be able to be peeked by Bashed, meaning that for a little bit of time you're going to be safe for actually trying to rotate through that line of sight, but it doesn't seem like that was their plan after all.
Now as they look and wait over the arcades, it's Skeptic that pushes back. Walkero, though, is able to take care of Josh in the corridor, but Rivers is the one that's under a bit of fire here and pressure from inside the site itself. Smoke canisters popped, and with 30 seconds on the board, they still have a couple left in. The consideration, as Skeptic is pinging and pointing out, is the Warrior on the lock on the top of the doors with the air jabs, but it doesn't seem to stop as they drop Rivers. Another canister stops them being able to get in and get through and get the diffuser down. But again, it's only a matter of time before they have to just try and throw themselves through, and the air jab's going to stop any pinch and rotation here. So they've decided to go under the air jab itself, and they catch Skeptic out in a bit of a misplayed rotation. The pressure is now entirely on the arcade side. Sidon's in, but now he's out, and now it's just a 2 versus 1, 2 versus nobody. The double comes through for Mickey, and Black Mamba double down their rounds.
Able to pick up 1 right behind the tractor bookshelf thing. I don't know what it is. It's looking like a tractor, but it's more of a storage box, really. The point I wanted to make is he made like a 180 right after and took down the second player as well, as he knew where he was coming from. Before I got caught up in my call-outs, because I still haven't figured out after all these years. A tractor bookshelf. I'm going to stick with that.
Tractor bookshelf. It just rolls.
It doesn't roll off the tongue quite well. Yeah, I mean, like maybe if you say it a bit quicker or remove some syllables.
I feel like that's not going to make it into Kix's
tractor shelf.
No, yeah, I don't think that's going to make the common callouts.
What about just tractor
documents? It's better than tractor bookshelf. I can't deny that.
Okay. I mean, it's just sounding so boring, you know, and it's not really a real tractor. It just looks like a tractor.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't want my calls to be misleading.
Okay. You don't want to call a tractor not a tractor, or you don't want to call not a tractor a tractor.
Is it a tractor? Okay, can we go back to it? Medics, can we quickly highlight the tractor? Is it a tractor? Is it might even be a train?
That's a train.
Okay, it's a train. I'm sorry.
Medics,
okay, you can go back to your job, medics.
Medics did it. Laughed.
It's train.
Laughed.
It's train.
And said, "I hate you," and then he paused, and then he said, "It's a train."
Yeah, it's a train. I thought it was
so
a tractor.
So he hates you, but he's involved now. Hey, talking about involved, we're in the round, and well, Black Mamba, they're still playing quite aggressive. They're obviously back to Throne, which was an aggressive hold from them. 3 on top. This time, it looks like they've gone a little bit more beneath. They've kept 3 bodies down, but for how long that lasts, I guess we'll see. The potential is always to push up potentially. Obviously, Dragon Stairs, which can catch a lot of teams out if they're going for that entire top before they get it. But obviously, Rivers on the air jabs has been pretty solid in locking down any of those quick, cheeky rotation possibilities.
Definitely some opportunities there. Good camera, actually. The question is, will they know in the likes of Bekind? They're looking for one. They don't seem to find it, and the C4 comes in, bashed. Sending El Chico again to the graveyard. He keeps on being involved in these battles. Maybe he needs to slow it down a bit. And the camera is still out there, and they know Bashed is as well. And he's going aggressive, goes for the swing, but he's not able to put up a single shot to Valkyro. But they still have the information.
I was wrong before, actually. It was even. He was positive, actually, in terms of the entry. Now he's even. I'll check. I falsely said he was behind a foot. He wasn't. The first 2, he was positive. He was able to take care of Bashed and then take care of Duco, even. So I'm just thinking of Prince there. And now it's none of the Passion of the Flame Kingdom as they set themselves up with the cool of Uncle. Now, as we start to find our way pushing over the top, as I said, they've set themselves up the air jabs on Dragon Stairs. They're going to make sure that they have this top locked down before they try and apply anything beneath. Obviously, they've been able to get the counter and get off Bashed as well. The C4 was costly, but you think of what it took, and you think of what that took too. I was about to say they lost some soft destruction, and now they've lost so much more.
Oh, it's that big hammer they can use. have to try and find a response here. Zayden moving in from below, moving in from the locker room. Tossing out a Selma, might be to bait. No one will be swinging on it to try and take it down, however, but there is someone on the top of yellow. It is Duco. Standing by, has an opportunity to go for a great flank here as soon as these angles are being watched or they think about entering them. Might be able to just pick Zayden up. And with that, drop the diffuser. Aseptic now drops down Valkyro. It's a 2-4 situation, but we cannot count Bekind out yet. Because we've seen what happened in the first round.
Air jab triggered, but if a tree falls in a forest, is anyone there to hear it or shoot it? Apparently no. Josh, though, he's found his way up Dragon Stairs. He's been able to put it, pop it, and then get his way into this position behind them. As I said, it can be such a big part for these rotations, but Skeptic is going to climb up with a pass and get the kill of his own now. It's only Zayden played the first and tried to bait it and plays against one as they push towards him, but with only 10 seconds. At this point, it is very, very tough for him to begin to take. He has the diffuser, but he doesn't have his life anymore as Skeptic. A 4K for the round, I believe.
Very well played here, just being mobile, being on your feet, constantly moving around and able to pick up these kills left, right, and center. And whilst, you know, these people are busy slaughtering each other, we have a discussion between Medics and Dev about what the actual call is. Medics says locomotive and Dev Marta says choo-choo. It all comes down to a train.
No, that's an argument. Okay, picture the scene. Medics is a like nursery, a kindergarten teacher. And he's like, locomotive. And then Dev is a 3-year-old child and goes, choo-choo. That's that scene of them deciding the course. And then you're there and you're like, tractor. And they're like, man, this kid lost course.
Saving. As, yeah. All right. Maybe we should have a poll here. If any mod is watching, can we get a poll between tractor, bookshelf, locomotive, train, and choo-choo? Like, we need to settle this once and for all. Like, I would get why it's a train because in previous Team Buck we used to have trains. You know, so I like thinking about it.
You mean choo-choo?
So we had a lot of choo-choos according to Medics. So yeah, like
tractor is a call on a different map, to be fair. You know,
it is.
It's a Hereford's call, so it is a call in the game. You're right there. That is all I'm going to say you're right about.
It's got my maps messed up. Happens to the best of us.
Thankfully, Hereford isn't in this pool. As we tick over, Black Mamba, 3 rounds up. Or 3 rounds in the bank, 2 rounds up. Technically, as Bekind have been able to take 1, and they just seem to not have a handle on Black Mamba's risk for reward strategy. They're really leaning in to the patch on Skeptic's Mozzie right now that says, I dare, because if you dare, you win. In the ways of the SASR, and
it's just a band wave, you know. Hold up. Oh,
there it is.
Hey, there it is.
Yeah,
he managed to get the kill.
Yeah, I watched Legends on the left. His card ticked over, but now it's you jump out, you get kills. He who dares wins.
That's it. This time, not El Chico involved in the first gunfight of the round. For the first time in 5 rounds, he's not. He's in the second one, though, as he gets taken down by Duco. I'm just going to not even finish my sentence up here. Valkyro on the top will be able to put up 1 shot. Duco will go down. Bash was quite close, but he already fell back towards the waiting room. And right now, Rivers and Valkyro, both on the top of Dragon Stairs, are here to try and put some pressure. You see Bash falling into the hallways. It gets taken down by Zayden. That means we're back in a 3v3 situation here where Black Mamba had a big advantage, but they tossed it all away.
Well, now they've been able to at least clear most of the A site out, and they're looking to try and push steadily through the bathroom, a place that has been pretty consistent confrontation. Unfortunately, the Jammer's going to stop the approach here. Oh, no, there it goes. Volcaro heads underneath, pops it open, and you can hear the wall popping above too. Mozzie's stopping the entry with the drone, but they can just go through the recently opened Selma hole if they really want to get all the eyes on anyone that might be behind it, and currently the only one is the aforementioned Mozzie, who rotated a bit up the long corridor to see if he could apply some pressure over the top, waiting and baiting for anyone to come through, but this drone is going to head through the vault, and oh, wait, there they are! And now they know exactly what he's doing, where he's watching, and this should just be a turn, a flick, and a pick.
Here we go. He's lining up the pre-fire. Oh, he missed out just a little bit, though, taking some damage. Will escape with his life, which is more important. C4 being ripped right now and will probably be held in hand by Septic, as that allows you to toss it in at any point. Because often they will be trying to bait for the Velcro rip, right? As soon as you hear that, you see people moving out because they know the C4 could be following. But if you rip it prematurely, without them even knowing that it's coming, you have to be careful though. Valkyro is looking to make a flank happen. There's not that much time left. We still see some rotations coming in, but it looks like Bekind is setting up for the very, very last second approach here.
Yeah, 20 seconds on the board and a 3 versus 3. Obviously, you've still got a smoke canister in hand, but that's about to be thrown and blown just then. Now, it's going to really limit the way that they can enter. The pinchers attempted to come from the backside. Ash hit barbed wire, and that's a kill that goes decisively in the way of Black Mamba. They only have one more to get, and they do a kill apiece. So they find one each, tear them apart in their fangs, and keep tearing their defenses ahead.
Again, the defense of Black Mamba here seeming to be a change. The good change, at least. They need to get some good rounds in here if they're going over to the attack, because we all saw what happened against them, and then they struggled to close out that game. As, well, unfortunately, they did not. That could have been a win. That could have been a draw. But they were left with nothing. So they're more than likely looking to go for a return here now. They want to get that win in on Team Park. They want to leave Seattle with at least one win underneath their belts to be like, at least we weren't the worst this stage. It's a way to look at it.
It's a way to look at it, sure. It's not that, you know, it's the situation that you're in. Obviously, you put yourself at the bottom of the board, as Granite managed to do earlier today with their win. They didn't end, even though their day started off in the worst possible way of a guaranteed relegation, they still managed to find some fire. And you know, these two teams, they're obviously in a very tough group. You look at the teams that were above them, and there were 3 that everybody expected to be able to pull their way through to the qualifiers, and then there was one that set up and showed in force for everybody else. So I guess, you know, it's one of those moments, one of those kind of ideas of this is your chance. This is your moment. Let's see if you can put anything through here.
Frost coming out on Mickey. Seen any of the Frost mats yet. Lee still has 3. One will be going into that bathroom. A site where they often go. As the rehost gets denied. It's unfortunate.
Yep.
Bekind meaning 4v5. But hey, it still allows El Chico to be involved in the first good fight, so that's something, right?
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, it, you know, it puts you in a situation, but Bekind, obviously, it's a very tough situation. So, let's see if they can now try and put some pressure here onto the pinch and apply themselves towards the site itself. So, you're a man down. So, try and find that little bit extra. Worst case scenario, you're still also on Theme Park too. It's a tough map to attack. A 5-1 split isn't massively rare. It's not going to make things very easy, and it's one of the reasons you generally didn't see it too much in the best of 1 format, is no team, when given the option, really didn't want to find themselves having to battle back from what is a negative start. Here, they believed they could, and, well, I guess it's a question we might only really truly get answered when we see them on their defense.
Because right now, Black Mamba are looking to build towards that 5-1 scoreline, one that it's hard to come back through. Keep in mind, we do have draws. There is no overtime you can try and force yourself into, meaning that if Black Mamba pick up this round, they'll only need to get 1. These 6 attack rounds they have available to them. Just get that 1 point in, and 2 to get the full win. And we have the first kill coming inside it to go down onto Duco, meaning it's back to a 4-on-4 situation. Not really that much damage done on the side of Bekind, meaning they still have a good chance of fighting here as the C4 now comes in. Legends will fall. Rivers will be missing the shots, and Skeptic, who was peeking aggressively into the waiting hall, but then Josh shows around, picks up Rivers as well, and suddenly it's a 2v4 yet again in the favor of Black Mamba.
Now then, as they start to try and push and forward, and oh wow, that's just El Chico getting a triple kill. The man is furious. He's been in the kind of leading interaction every single time, and this time he wants to make sure he locks it down. My word! They're stepping up here from all of that, the pace on the triple kill to put them from a 2 versus 2 into another 4th kill. El Chico, take a bow.
What just happened? He walked up to the scaffolding and managed to find 3 people with his backs towards him. And well, that means we're in a 4v2 situation. We're going for no. He returned. That's unfortunate. All right, we're going back to us right now. The Rios is coming in anyway, and unfortunate series of events as he just joined back in. Wasn't necessary, but it's okay. It's 4-2 now. They managed to recover it onto the back of El Chico, who this time didn't die first in the opening battle, and thus was able to show up huge in the late round, able to get that triple kill in to start things off with and to close it off with a quad of himself. And that is really what Bekind were looking for, because now they have themselves a bit more of a favorable split to fight against. They can afford one slip up, and it doesn't mean the end of the game.
Yeah, obviously it gives them a bit of a burster and buffer, and you know, as I said, a 5-1 split on your attacks on Theme Park, it's not great, but it's not unheard of. 4-2 is the standard. 4-2, even with the unfortunate disconnect that happened just at the very end there, is a situation where you're looking at, we can pull this back. We have a moment to talk about it, get ourselves in. They've played their defenses, we've taken 2, and we know how they like to play it. So what we have now is the potential of a response, of revenge, of locking it down, locking this out, and locking out some potential points here.
That's the question, and which team will be walking away with these points? That is what we would like to know. Both are still on 0-0-4. A draw is what is on DevMod's, Christmas list, as he really wanted to see it to close off their season. Ironically, both on 1 point, not better than one another. And I don't know, I'm hoping one will be able to walk away with the win here. Bekind have received a lot of negative criticism, I have to say, regarding their first matchups, but it definitely grew into challengingly. They even, they lost, but it was a 7-5 against Penta, so it's not like they were completely without opportunities. So for them, I kind of hope that they are able to at least get a point in here.
That's it. Obviously, you're looking at, the possibility of these two teams hitting a point, hitting a draw, and hitting a location where they, still on the bottom of the board, but they've actually got something there. And I guess, as I said before, they were in a very tough group, very tough situation. A lot that was, potentially there for them and potentially against them. So it's how we go from here, how we kind of perform today, the performance that they can bring, and the result that goes through. Because either way, as we said, a lot of the expectation was already locked in when they approached this group.
It was, especially for Bekind. It looked like, not many people had faith in them. Black Mamba wasn't really that high up in the chopping block at the start, but they definitely found themselves down together with Bekind after a set of disappointing results. But we're ready to get back into Team Buck. It is the second half that will be upon us, and either we will crown a winner, or we will crown, well, not a single one, as we would maybe get a draw.
A lot of ban waves today.
Yeah, good. Arthur Shelby,
is he?
and he was a cheater.
Is he gone? Yeah, I mean, well,
Yeah, he's gone.
he didn't hide it. It was all in the show, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Took a while for people to catch up, though. But hey, he's gone. He's dusted. What's not dusted is this game, because we're only halfway there. Potentially. It could be over quicker than we think.
You're just listing all the options now.
Could be 3 rounds. That way we're 66% there. Could be more. But theoretically speaking, we're halfway there.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, we've hit the half, and we'll see how we grow from here. Beaker, you were okay on your attacks. There seemed to be a couple of firefights that went awry and away from you, a couple of moments where you might be able to pinch someone from Black Mamba, but otherwise didn't really have it working towards you. Now you have the mechanics of the game, and a map like Theme Park working in your favor. Now we get a chance to see whether the untethered possibility of aggression from Black Mamba can be blinkered and put towards a common goal, can be locked towards the site, because as we said and saw a couple of times, Black Mamba, they fire loose, hot and heavy. They go quite aggro on their defenses, they spread out quite a lot, and they set themselves in this situation. How is that going to translate to their attacks?
If we're looking at the game against M&M, their attacks were a bit sloppy. They struggled to clear out some key positions, ones that they used themselves as well. And that's unfortunate. we're repaying the favor right now. We're getting a 4v5 attack this time in for Black Mamba. Let's see if that is the key to get triple kills and quad kills eventually.
Eye for an eye, and well, these potentially Bekind up in a favor as they try and look towards getting this open lock down. Skeptic, he had a pretty great first half. He was top of the board and was able to put a lot of bodies down under the board, so he's looking to try and start this off with Bashed applying some pinch pressure on the backside. They know that there was someone playing around this space. All three of them have started to flood through now as they instantly push and apply the pressure towards the body that's still giving his game away, opening up rotations with impacts on the backside of this floor. And, well, there's another bit of cover and another bit of concern coming from those mainstays.
That's Judge coming in. That's the first kill coming in. Josh able to pick up onto side and bringing it back to a 4-on-4. But you're still attacking Armory Throne, a very tough bomb site to get through, especially if they lock themselves in completely. Now, Bekind, they didn't have to put a roamer on. I have to say, like, you're already fighting a 4v5. It would maybe be better to actually sit out on site, because now you're going to give them the opportunity to bring things back to equal, which they did. And they still have a Heart Breacher. They still have grenades available to them, so there's still plenty of opportunity for them to actually open up a wall and go for a full-on execute. The only issue they have is that there's 70 seconds to do it. They have 70 seconds, and it's still ticking down to get ready to open up a wall and to go for a plant.
Making sure they have their angles and sight lines clear as they start to crack open all of the second story and make positions tougher to hold inside Throne itself. Forces the players into corners and angles where they can try and lock down as they start with 45 their approach here. Hey, Duco's back. He gets to watch out the rest of the round now to see if Black Mamba can try and make something of this now 4 versus 4 after the initial pick. Flashes come through. They're going to put pressure onto Legends, who still has a C4 in pocket, but he's going to lead with his gun for now. Hops to a little bit more safety, catches most of a flash in that, but they can't quite get him out. The frag grenade is going to be the attempt. Just damages Walkero instead as it rolls a little bit too wide. He's playing inside split. Now he's not as Ash swings around and Bashed gets the kill. Josh pinching from the opposite side. Rivers from deep throws a smoke canister, but it doesn't last long as they just push through. There's a couple back into the favor of Bekind, but now it's just a 1 versus 2. He's on the far side of sight and they're putting the diffuser down with the final 8 seconds. This could be a pick that defines the round, but he can't quite find it. He's a little bit too late to stop the plant. However, he's just in time to put himself into a 1 versus 1.
He's going to get swung on, however. Mickey able to pick up that final kill. A good first round here for Black Mamba. Also with a man down. That might be the secret to it. 2 rounds that were won on the attack were a 4v5. Out of the 3 rounds we've had, 1 so far. I mean, I would drop 1 player right now and continue like that.
But then if both teams drop a player, then what happens?
We have to see. We don't know. It is... You know, we don't have any sample size to that.
Until, like, every round someone drops another player until it's a 1 versus 1. Pistols only.
An epic 1v1, pistol only. You know, you're putting your backs up against each other. You take 10 steps, you turn around, and whoever shoots first.
Have you watched Hamilton again?
This was actually, it's a Mexican, like, what's it called? The Wild West, they did that. That's what I actually got it from.
Oh, okay.
Because then, they pick up the revolvers as well, and then... set some stats. It's like just a standoff.
I think you've been watching too many movies, my friend.
Maybe.
Hey.
I might have.
Hey, 5-2, Black Mamba. You're able to pull your first attack, and you did it with a man down. You were missing a body, and now you're going to see if you can do it again. As I said, I was curious how their aggression would lead onto their attacks. They were a little bit less than coordinated on their defenses, but it worked for them. Their playstyle is one that is built around the gun skill of the players on this roster. All of them have generally had big standout games and standout moments. All of them have the possibility. Unfortunately, the consistency wasn't there, which is, you know, a bit of a tough thing in a seasonal play. Here so far, that open attack round was more than promising. They seem to be able to get their angles and get everything opened. It's up to Bekind now to see if they can step in and step up, because all of that round started to fall apart with El Chico being able to find a couple of kills in the middle before it was then entirely locked out. It's, yeah, down to Bekind now.
No more room for slipping up if you want to win here. You have to be on point. As Black Mamba started opening up the hatches, it's not the biggest of pressure on this map especially. They will still, you know, put some pressure down, knowing that someone could be dropping at any moment in time from the heavens. Of course, it wouldn't really work, but it might be a glorified distraction move. As Septic now moving through will be opening up that cafe door. just to put the pressure down onto the players that are actually playing in Bunk and Daycare.
Pre-firing and peppering towards every soft wall available, but they can't quite catch anybody just as of yet. Oh, a C4 blows shrapnel and wood into the leg of the close man, and now they're concerned about the rotation up here from Legends. Do they have the cover? No, they do not. The air jabs go down alongside the person holding them as Josh is dropped. They don't have the immediate response there, as Mickey can't quite catch up with the pace of Legends, who retreats back underneath. Bashed is the potential surprise strike here. Nook and sneaking her way through right down the middle of the site. There's one, there's the game away. There's almost the second inside the vault, keeps firing and they're down, but no, the cover comes from over the shoulder, saved by the grace of bullets. That's a body down, a piece inside. Legends wants to confirm it, and they will finally do in a second, I'm assuming, as Walkero is able to take care of Skeptic.
In the meantime, however, side control is here, and it's only up to Mickey, however, as he is the one man standing, able to put up a couple of shots. It wasn't actually side control, it was Bunk and Daycare. Not able to find much more than that. And I have to say, it was a nice attempt, them moving into Bunk and Daycare together. Mickey able to pick up one kill, however, Bashed was not able to find a player right behind him as he turned his back to him and got taken down as a result. That could have been a good round for Black Mamba. Instead, we are currently finding ourselves with 3-5, and the frost is coming out from Rivers. Might be 6 picked out. It's not. Oh, yep. No, it's still there. I was going to say, like, it's not really an operator we'd like to show from the start if you're going to be playing it, because it kind of removes the element of surprise, and that's indeed what they're doing. The 6 picking it out, the clash comes in, and thus they will be playing around with those shields, which now has the guard break animation, where not only concussions will be forcing it, but also explosions. And you'd be thinking, all right, how does that help? Well, I'm glad you asked, Fluke.
Yeah, I did.
There is grenades on the board on Septic. There is S charges available as well. You can use those, shoot them in front of the shield, trigger the guard break, and have someone ready to take the gunfight right after.
Clash now, and obviously the change here, I guess, is one to try and slow and scarper what Black Mamba are trying to put. So far, it's been quite pacey from the attackers. They've dug in very quickly and tried to dominate as much territory as possible. The Nook surprise worked quite well. This time, unfortunately, obviously, they're not in a position to. Obviously, if they'd been able to confirm the second kill, which they very almost did, it could have been a very different story on a different round. But I guess it's one of those, again, surprises that it probably won't work so consistently twice. Aiden has moved up into a new position, and it looks like so has the attack as they apply the pressure from the eastern side instead of Cafe, and they're going to dig in from the castle entrance.
More band. More bands. Always beautiful. It's like music to my ears, except for the fact that there is no sound with them. Probably for the better of it as well, because otherwise we would probably be spammed. Imagine if it was spotting sounds that came through. But Rivers in the bathroom, standing out with the CCE. It's going to be there to stop any movement from the balcony. Instead, it's Mickey that picks up a kill onto Legends, so the entry is going to be for Black Mamba. Mickey's going to be able to make quite some ground right here as he finds a second person, but he's not going to be able to land the shot quite yet. It's El Chico in the waiting room. His drones now come in. Valkyro, his position will be spotted out as well. And Mickey is in an opportunity, in a position where he could be going for the kill right here, as a lot of damage will be done, but the kill not quite yet. And there it is, the double kill to come in. Swing from the left. Kill coming in actually on his teammate. Here's Zaiden. Doesn't pick up Mickey, but the man, Duka, who is coming about to just spot some feet.
Attention is paid towards the opener of the angle and towards Mickey, who gets dropped. Clash almost suffers the same fate inside the bathroom, but peels back just in time. Skeptic might try and finish them off with a frag grenade, but they're going to bounce back, roll away, and see if they can get somewhere a little bit safer. There it goes. Oh, just caught and baited by the Clash. Very well played by Rivers, and now they're in a bit of safety, in a bit of a position. El Chico, however, just does that and decides to lock down a double to top up his triple. And now it's just down to Skeptic.
How does it keep getting away with these kind of plays? A beautiful tap coming in at the end, and it's only up to Septic. He's being flanked in the meantime from the bathroom. He seems to be aware as the smoke's now getting popped. He will be rushing through. However, has no clue where the player will be able to pick up that kill, but he will be zapped to death most likely as the Clash is going to be pressing that shield. There we have it. The kill coming in. Bekind able to pick up yet another round, and we are in 5-4 now. It's looking like this might become a draw by the way things are currently going. All that Black Mamba has to do is just get one more round, and let Bekind do the rest.
It's tough, though. It's tougher than it asks, especially now we've seen 2 rounds in a row go the way of Bekind. 2 different rounds, 2 convincing rounds. They've been able to play a couple of different little looks in terms of their defense. One, obviously, with the Clash leading and pulling back and pushing the charge. And here, slightly different story. But Black Mamba, we saw very good pace, very good aggression from your first attack round. You've got to try and double it down because we're back in Armory, back in Throne Room. You'll expect this, you'll know this. Let's see if you can go through with this.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Armory Throne. Nothing too weird coming out in the setup. Remember last time around it was a 4v5 situation by Black Mamba as they had a player drop. Bekind stuck to the rotation. Now decided to come back to it. What went wrong last time is Walkiro got picked up early as the roam. And then they managed to just enter the side. They opened up the yellow wall. Managed to get inside, get the plant down, and no one was able to actually deny it because, you know, it was only one player left at the time. So you got to make sure that you're going to be able to hold onto those walls a bit longer. But as I say that, you're looking at the lineup and you see a Goyo, you see a Vigil, a Smoke, a Jaeger, and a Mamai, and then you're thinking, okay, how do you want to hold on to these walls exactly? Because you do not have any electrification, you do not have any signal disruptors, and besides that, you don't even have any impacts. I'm not sure if they have any C4s either. So, like, I don't think there's any way they can try and deny the walls from opening up. Okay, so we have 1 impact left. Aside from that 1 impact.
Oh, there's an impact. Well, Kara takes care of Skeptic and puts the body down, and now they're able to pull themselves back in. They're being quite quick here. The duo of the Roam is causing some trouble. They had the cover and the possibility, and they've already struck pretty boldly before the Roam click and get in. That sledge gone. We've talked about the cost of hard destruction here. There's obviously still some possibilities, but it's otherwise a very big loss. Your frag grenades, too. We saw them be part and vital of a push that forced people into more uncomfortable situations. Jackal is trying to get a hand and a grip on the Roam here of the French team and can't quite find the marks up to date. There is a second one on the left shoulder here, so it's not fully convincing, and there is the lack of conviction and convincing of where they are.
Need to make the impact happen. They need to get these roamers out of the way. It's 2 of them inside, and then Valkyra. A lot of damage being done, however, here. The first one gets picked up. Duco able to land that one. Basher, however, now in the gunfight with another one. Swaps out to his pistol, but it will not be able to land him his kill, as Valkyra is left behind on about 10 HP. As he rotates back to top arcade. Has no clue where the remaining Black Mamba members are, but all he can do right now is hide. But as I say that, he gets spotted out by the Jackal track and now has to move. There is no hiding now. He'll be doing so by going down the stairs, descending them, I have to say. He's going back up, he's going aggressive, able to pick up 1 kill. That's his triple kill of this round, going for the quad kill. Will be able to land there as well. It's on up to Mickey now to deny him that ace. He has the opening to work with, but he doesn't have the pressure, he doesn't have the manpower, he doesn't have the firepower. And thus, with 1 minute left, it will be a very slow death most likely.
Yeah, you're in a very tough situation here, and as Bekind look ready to lock it down into a 5-5 even half. As we said, them heading to their defense was a scary prospect, and they're proving it an ace. What a way to wrap up a 4K and a pretty solid round from the Roam game that, as we said at the very start, they never really had a handle on, even with the Jackal. It was kind of proven looser and looser, and Bekind are proven more and more confident now. They find themselves level pegging. They found themselves the ability to pull back what was a 4-1 situation with getting 1 more on their attacks before swapping over here and just locking down round after round.
Monty being revealed might indicate a Clash S6 pick, as a Clash is now a direct counter to the Monty with the way that the guard break works. Nuck coming out as well and bashed. Rivers will be swapping out, but he's not quite sure yet. Okay, the Frost coming in. So we will see the Frost play. Of course, has an opportunity to catch the Monty of guard as well, as of course will not be able to directly look underneath him. I think it's more so meant for Bash, who will be trying to sneak himself in and be able to catch him off quickly.
Well, how is the approach going to play out here as we find ourselves locked in and looking down the potential of pulling themselves ahead for the first real time today? Bekind have looked very good. They've looked very, very well put together and very solid. And I guess, hey, now's the day. You may as well. There's nothing else really left to play for apart from just a bit of pride. So I'll try and get some from Black Mamba, who otherwise have dropped off on their attacks. They haven't quite been able to lock down. And yes, it plays into this map. As I said, a 4-2 on the splits, the common split. It was a good rounds from the defense at the time of Black Mamba, but it was aggressive rounds. And that is a hard trait to fully translate.
My question here is, are we going for a draw, or will one of these two teams win? And if I have to put my money onto one of these two teams for a win, I have to say Bekind. They are on the defense. They have been doing pretty well so far, and Black Mamba's their attacks, they again don't seem to be working that well. They're bringing out the Monty now. How much will that save them? Will that be what they need to, well, roll through to get the pressure they need? Oh, the Frost is actually putting up a Frost mat there. You could have went for a quick couple of shots if they wouldn't have known, if they would have known, if they would have heard. Not the case.
Well, it's a bit of a waiting now as we play into the new Frost meta. The change here that obviously is worth a little bit getting into is the shield in the hands of Mickey. I think they've very quickly realized what they're losing to is a confidence from Bekind, a confidence to swing into their aggression and swing into their gunfights and win them. Now, more and more, we're seeing more and more of an exploration of the possibilities. And here, well, they want to stop that happening. How do you do it? You shove a massive shield in your face, apply flat pressure. Bashed back on the Nook is looking to try and sneak around underneath and make sure that if anyone swings around on the staircase and gets a kill, a la the last time they were here, well, here we are. Situation where they can make sure that if anybody does swing round, swing up, swing down, they're there to strike them and catch them before they even begin to lock down onto the arcade stairs.
They're trying to go for a couple of pre-fires, will not be able to land anything as of yet. In the meantime, one is sneaking up on the yellow stairs. So Mickey is trying to put down some pressure with that Monty. He has to be careful that his back will not be exposed, because if that is the case, he will go down. And as I say that, Valkyro able to take him down from his back. And that is putting Bekind in a really good position here. So the driving force of the push is gone, has been taken down, and they will be able to follow that one up even more as Bash goes down as well. Another one falls as Zayden gets a kill. Josh goes down as well. It's only up to Septic now. The diffuser is dropped in the middle of enemy territory. There's 4 enemies still left standing. You only have 35 seconds left on the clock to try and make something happen. How much can you get this done? Like, how much can you get done even? Are you going to be able to pick up any kills? Or are you going to be able to fall without any?
Now then, Skeptic swings around and puts bullets towards the first and picks them up on the second attempt. Doesn't actually lock them off. There we go. At least gets an exit frag with only 15 seconds and no bullets in the main gun. Oh, hello! That was a surprise. There's one more, though. There's the drop, and there's the finish. Walkero swings around to lock down Skeptic. We might almost hit him with the knife.
And for the Halloween, you know, like spooky month, spooky week. Almost managed to shut him down there with a knife, but wasn't able to get it. Sad face coming in as well. And thus 6-5. Is the current score. Bekind have the opportunity to lock out the win here and leave Black Mamba on 0 wins and 5 losses. Or Black Mamba gets out another round here and would be ending up in that draw that we kind of ironically said would be coming, as both of these teams have been on the bottom of the leaderboards the entire phase, the entire stage.
Yeah, it's not been an easy season for them, and it apparently not been an easy end to the day for Black Mamba here. They've unfortunately let the 4-1 lead slip through their fingers, and it was always going to happen on their defenses that more of these, on their attacks even, that more of these rounds went away from them against the Bekind defense. They were able to get there first, though. And from then on, they did it with a lot of pace, and that's all just dropped off. Their confidence has plummeted since then, and they are only 1 round away now. But now it's 1 round away from a draw at best, and 1 round away from potentially losing if Bekind can lock it off. Bekind, better and better, bigger and bigger. There is the surprise strike of a man with a knife. Unfortunately, didn't have Commando Pro on, but it did stop the reload of the main gun. So his life
Action
was for something.
Yeah, mission accomplished, right?
Mission accomplished.
Semi-accomplished. Like, you got halfway there. You made sure you wasn't going to be able to fire back with the big gun. But yeah, hey, it's the little things in life that you have to celebrate every now and then. And that might be for Black Mamba trying to get 1 point here. That might be that little thing that they're looking for, because otherwise Bekind is going to be able to walk away with a win at their behalf. At Black Mamba's cost. Something that after the first split, when they were 4-1 up in their defense, probably did not expect to see happen.
Now then, Rivers started dancing on the balcony to see how many spawned over there and then pulled back. They read the push was from this side and they know where they need to be, but it also gave the game away a bit early of the play. However, there's nothing that really needs to be hidden. Wow, maybe that could have been hidden a little bit better. Clash picked off and pinched perfectly. The overconfidence of Bekind has struck them, and Mickey careens his way into the bathroom to try and get the big cross angle down towards the opposite site and see if they can lock off the body that is closer towards it. They are holding in round behind the pillar. Walkero is walking cautiously. There's also one inside the vault just round to the right corner. The drones are working overtime to see if they can catch out where Zayden is. Has the two ADSs on the wall to stop the burn, but El Chico has the burn to stop Skeptic. And yet again, the sledge and the frag grenades are gone too early.
Keep in mind, though, that the Clash is gone as well, and that is going to be a big impact, because the last time around they struggled trying to fight him, struggled trying to get rid of that shield, and now it's gone. They don't have to deal with it anymore. Flashbangs coming in will indicate a push, as Valkyra right here is aware of the fact that one will be behind the soft wall. Tries a little bit for a pre-fire wallbang. Won't be able to hit anything yet. 70 seconds left, another flashbang will come in. Valkyra will be pushed away from his position. Well, again, we'll be trying to go for a repeat, but instead loses his life to Josh, who now will be able to get initiation room under control. Zayden, however, responds into Bashed. It's going to be a back and forth coming down time and time again. Impacts will be used to secure that kill. Second one coming in as a concussion, just to force El Chico back. Or Legends it was, actually. He wanted to go for a repeat. With 50 seconds left, the action is definitely on.
El Chico strikes on the core of the site, and now it's down to the two remaining Black Mamba players. Have a lot of time on their side right now in this 2 versus 2 to see if they can apply the pressure to just one of these Bekind members. Obviously, there is a lot of separation between the pair right now, and Mickey is looking to try and apply the pressure onto one first. Here's the movement inside the bathroom and is keeping an attentive eye, but the rotation comes back around the other side, pre-fires, but we hear the pinch coming from the opposite side as well. El Chico is completely locked in right now from both sides and locked down too. Now it is only Legends that is digging in with the potential of pulling a win here, and 15 seconds on their half. No C4 left. They've just got to try and use guns. And the ability to swing on the right person gets them on the door and pulls away. 5 seconds. Pushes them to the other site. Sees the second and fires onto them too. They have to try and stick this diffuser. Knows one is locking it down. Knows there's a second angle held. They're both in the same location though. They threw themselves at the same man. There's the knife. Bekind and Legends take it with the two players stacking up.
He was just in time, because the diffuser was just done. If he wasn't able to get that knife kill in, he might have been taken down there. That's how close it was. But it's Bekind to be able to pick up the last win that they could have potentially gotten. It took them 5 games, but they are here. They got that win in. Black Mamba will stay on 0, go out without a single point out of this Challenger League season. And Bekind have at least proven to the world they're not the worst team as many might have predicted beforehand.
Almost a draw. Almost a draw. We were sat at almost a situation where the two deadlocked teams on the bottom, locked because of a lack of wins, were almost deadlocked all the way till the end. But there can be one winner today, and that is currently Bekind, and they are able to sit a little bit higher, as you said, on the board. Still relegated, unfortunately, but they're not as full of holes as their opponents. Let's throw it to the desk and see what they have to say about it.
Thank you so much, my friends. Yes!